it has been a while since the Nintendo Direct has really wowed me. Nintendo came through and announced a Nintendo Direct for June 2023, even though there is no E3 this year. So there's thoughts about that later on. But, you know, was this the Direct to finally wow me after many years? Yes and no.
What?
It was one of the best paced, I will say. And, you know, how does it kind of compare to the other two consoles? This is the end of our trilogy, let's call it, of PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox showcases around Summer Game Fest. What I will say about Nintendo's here is that it was much better paced than previous Nintendo shows. Because my biggest issue with these Nintendo shows, and I don't believe I'm alone in this, let me know if you feel similar in the comments, it's usually filled with a lot of remakes, remasters, and ports, and anything above or below. There is a lot of those, which makes sense. They are the most highest selling console there, I think, ever has been since the PlayStation 2. I think they have started to outsell the Wii. I'm not totally sure about that, but when you're in the top 3 consoles of all time in terms of sales, of course people want to port their games to your system. Of course people want you to market their game, and of course Nintendo wants to do that because it brings more people to the marketplace. It makes sense. It just doesn't make for a hype show to me when that is literally half of the show. It really does feel like that almost in every Nintendo Direct. And did this one differ? There were 6 things that were really hype to me. Like, not really hype, but like the key notes, if you will, being the new stuff, which is especially Pokemon and Mario. But Pokemon first being, you know, you got some Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, which, go figure, you know, it's a Pokemon game. Of course they're going to do that. And I liked how they showcased this. It's like, you know, here's trailer 1, here's trailer 2 for both the DLC coming. But probably the thing I personally cared more about is the Detective Pikachu thing, because here we are getting voice acting in a Pokemon game of any kind. And it's not a traditional Pokemon game, but it just kind of looks charming too, you know, with like a deep voice talking Pikachu and even just the kind of potential interactions you could have with other characters of Pokemon. But it's just seeing voice acting in a Nintendo game, period. That's really... it's jarring to me, seeing these characters actually talking to each other in legit cutscenes and animated. I don't know, like that's, whenever I see that in any Nintendo game, I'm like, wow, that's new. The absolute star of this show was the Super Mario RPG. To me, there's another one that absolutely is probably the factual star of the show, but to me, Super Mario RPG getting a remake just blew my mind. That is something I never thought would ever happen. And it's not because I'm a fan of the game, because like I've said many times on this channel, I get excitement for other people. That is something that makes me happy in life, and I hope that brings you joy and just makes me hopefully more relatable with you and everything. But I love the fact that we're getting Super Mario RPG remake, and it's coming out again later this year. I don't remember if I mentioned that, but a very nice thing in terms of showcases that this show did was really set up this year for Nintendo. They really set up everything that we got coming to you this year, especially in that October through December area. That area especially, Nintendo kind of has control over based off of the release dates for everything else, except October is kind of crazy. But that was a cool element. And then they like teased at a new Peach game, but they didn't drop a title. They just literally kind of said, hey, we're working on a new Peach game. Here's some gameplay. And then just kind of moved on, which I thought that was a really weird way to announce a game. But and Mario fans just ate hard at this show. That's the thing. Mario fans ate hard. There's something more personal to me I'm about to bring up. Let's just bring up how they ended the show with Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which is really cool. Like, I'm not a Mario guy, even though I love Super Mario Odyssey and Sunshine, and I would say Galaxy as well, but it's so cool to see Nintendo willing to go back to the roots of Mario, being a traditional just 2D side-scroller game. That is what Mario was founded on, and this gave me so much vibes of like Super Mario Bros. Super Mario World, I think is what it was called. It just gave me that vibe, and it's so cool, and you get to see Daisy finally playable in it. I feel like a lot of people want Daisy to be playable more in Mario games, and they just don't do it. So this was cool. Seems like a neat new art style as well. The music and the tone, like it just seems like a brand new 2D scroller Wario game. I definitely lead to the 3D stuff, but like on paper, I just think it's great that they are doing that because they haven't done one since like the Wii U or 3DS or something like that. But the big, for me personally, my most anticipated game of the year, yes, even over Spider-Man 2, Starfield, Final Fantasy 16, Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Hogwarts Legacy, over everything. My most anticipated game this year is Pikmin 4. So crazy to say, and we got to look at that in this show, which I'm so happy. Like, I don't know if I have much to say about Pikmin 4. A lot of people have come to me because of my Pikmin 4 reactions and thoughts, and I'm stoked. It's just cool. Like, the dog is such a new gameplay mechanic. We got to see a new look at new Pikmin being the ghosties, which just comes out at night, and that's just a cool new element to the game. I was really missing seeing the purple and white Pikmin. They're on the box art. So where are they? Are they only multiplayer or what? Speaking of multiplayer, I don't know if this is multiplayer or not, but they gave a little tease at like, is that Olimar? Has he become some kind of hairy Pikmin, and why does he have a dog too? Is that the multiplayer that you're going against Olimar in like a challenge of who can collect the most the fastest? Or is that part of the single player? And we get to go into caves. We get to finally go into caves again, which is amazing. Like, I am so thrilled about this game and just what it's doing. And it looks visually gorgeous. I like that we can finally go into houses again. It looks so pleasant. And I know that's something that might not tingle your jingles, but for me, I'm waiting to play a new Pikmin game at launch since forever. And many were surprised that, aren't you going nuts that they added Pikmin 1 and 2 HD to the eShop? I would have been surprised if the Pikmin 1 and 2 HD things came to the subscription. That would have surprised me, because Nintendo, there's no way, like I said it before the stream, like there's no way Nintendo would not sell these for like $40 or something like that. And I was right. It's cool nonetheless. And it was a good show. I even liked some of the stuff that they were porting. There was this neat Japanese RPG looking game. I forget what it's called. I think it was Star Ocean. That looked cool. I thought that looked really cool. New Dragon Quest Pokemon like game, and new WarioWare. Like, there was some new stuff and cool stuff, but there was still a lot of those ports and remasters that just kind of always takes the show down for me. And that's why it's been many years since I've given any Nintendo Direct like a solid A. But I still think this was just about in that good tier. I don't think it was underwhelming like the PlayStation Showcase was with super high expectations, and I don't think it was overwhelming like the Xbox Showcase was. I think it was about the usual with the Nintendo Directs, to me at least. Like, this isn't me dictating what you think, it's just me sharing my take with you, and I'm very curious what you thought of it. It was about what the usual Nintendo show is, being some cool nuggets here and there, hopefully spread out to kind of pace things out well, and I think they did that well here. We're gonna get a lot of those ports and remasters. So to me, it was like a solid 7 out of 10, like just barely in that good area to me, but some good nuggets here. Pikmin 4's around the corner, oh my gosh. And I'm definitely gonna rank all the showcases. I think we're through them all basically, unless Square people come around the corner. But I'll put the rankings in my community tab in the next day or two if you want to know like where I put them. Speculate on that and more in the comments, because I'm curious where this ranks for you and what was your highlights of the show. That's why I do these, to talk with you in the comments. So go down there and maybe check out what I thought of the other shows on the side.